What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, March 20th, 2024, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is 13:09 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Russia and from various parts of the world. So, apparently, Russia is going to be forming two new combined armies this year. This was stated today by Sergei Shoigu, the defense minister of Russia. He said Moscow had recruited enough soldiers to fill 30 formations, including 14 divisions and 16 brigades, which could amount to a total of 750,000 troops. Wow, guys. So Russia is going to be building two new combined armies with a strength of up to 750,000 troops. And last month, Estonian spies warned that Russia intended to double the number of troops along their border with the Baltic states and Finland. The planned buildup of troops, which have gradually been unveiled by Moscow since 2022, could lead to a similar amount of manpower and weaponry on the NATO border as was witnessed on the frontier with Ukraine before Putin's invasion. Wow. Okay, so they're going to build up as many troops on the border with NATO as they had on the border with Ukraine before they started the invasion. That is very, very concerning. And last night, I posted an emergency alert about Belarus moving hundreds of tanks to the border of Lithuania. And if you missed that alert, I'll just quickly update you on what that was about. So, apparently, this mechanized brigade of the Belarusian army has been moved to within just a few miles of the border with Lithuania, close to the capital of Lithuania, Vilnius. And here you can see just how many tanks and armored vehicles this brigade has: 62 T 72s, 219 combat armored vehicles, which are probably BMPs and BTRs, 78 artillery systems, and 14 air defense systems. And this is all being moved to within just a few miles of Lithuania inside of Belarus. And KLW World News, aka inventor Lee Wheelbarger, found on satellite imagery the presence of several S-400 and Iskander missile systems right next to Poland and Lithuania in Belarus. And he's saying that they had dozens and dozens of launchers set up. Okay, so that is very, very concerning. But the Belarusian military is redeploying their 19th Mechanized Brigade within just miles of the Lithuanian border, and they've already set up an armed border checkpoint covered by tanks and armored vehicles inside of Belarus near Lithuania. So this is very, very concerning. Here's a picture of some of the Belarusian forces moving to the border of Lithuania. So I think it's very possible that Belarus will start some kind of incursion into Lithuania, maybe just to distract NATO while Russia makes a big push towards Kiev and Odessa in Ukraine. And also, there's been a lot of activity in the city of Gomel in southeastern Belarus, which is just 60 miles north of the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. This update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you got to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. But this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life. It includes over 2,000 calories per day. Breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, all contained within 6 rugged water resistant buckets, and free shipping is included So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $200 off or 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. Free shipping is included. They also have a general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running various discounts. And to get to their general store, you just got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com at the top of the page, and you'll see their general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running discounts here. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video. And Polish Foreign Minister Radek Sikorski said that there are already troops in Ukraine from major Western countries, and he said it's a secret that everybody knows. And Polish President Andrzej Duda said Monday in an interview with CNBC that NATO must urgently increase its defense spending to ensure it does not become the next target of a Russian attack. Citing unspecified German research, Duda said new evidence suggested that Russian President Vladimir Putin is doubling down on his shift towards a war economy with a view to attacking NATO in 2026 or 2027. So the Polish president is saying that, according to German intelligence, Russia could attack NATO in 2026 or 2027. I think it's going to happen this year, but still 2026 or 2027. That's for a major Western leader like the Polish president to say that is extremely alarming. And the city of Kursk in Russia is under partial blackout after strikes on the city by Russian partisans. And Kursk has a population of around 500,000. So there's a partial blackout there. And Ukraine fired a Patriot missile into Russia amid a volley of cross-border attacks overnight, according to Moscow. Russia's defense ministry said air defense units had intercepted a dozen rockets and missiles over the Belgorod region by 10 p.m. on Tuesday. Soon after, it said it had intercepted 2 more missiles, including a U.S.-made Patriot missile, over the neighboring Kursk region. Drones were also downed deeper in Russia in the Saratov region, according to defense officials. The U.S. Patriot system is one of an array of sophisticated air defense units supplied by the West to help Ukrainian airstrikes. So, very serious, guys. Russia is accusing Ukraine of launching a Patriot missile into Russia. Why that is, I have no idea. Whether they would do that offensively or if it was defensively or if it's even true at all, we don't know. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, but the fact that Russia is even claiming that is all we need to know, okay? Multiple kabooms were reported in Engels, Russia, which is where Russia has one of their strategic bomber bases. Ukrainian drones were planning an attack on the strategic airbase in the Saratov Oblast, but Russian Ministry of Defense officials claimed that the drones were shot down. Okay, so failed attempt by Ukraine to strike the Engels Air Base near the Saratov region of Russia. And 7 people have been wounded and 4 killed as a result of a Russian missile strike in Kharkiv, Ukraine. And Russian partisans are still fighting the Russian military in Belgorod and Kursk in Russia. They are now claiming that Russian forces are hiding behind civilian objects and using civilians as shields. Okay, so that's what the Russian military is doing. And the chief of staff of the French land forces, General Pierre Schill, is convinced that France will be ready for the most difficult military challenges. In his opinion, the French command is able to deploy a division of 20,000 soldiers within 30 days and command a coalition of troops of up to 60,000 soldiers. And I reported on this last night. Very interesting timing for the French army general to say that the French army is ready for the most difficult challenges and they're ready for any threat, considering all the talk of France sending troops into Ukraine. The timing is very, very interesting. If we do not reach a compromise with Azerbaijan on Soviet era border enclaves, war will break out by the end of the week. That's what the Armenian prime minister said today. And the Israeli Defense Forces confirmed on Tuesday that Yemen's Houthis had fired on Israeli territory for the first time the day before. A cruise missile hit open space near the city of Eilat, located on the Red Sea. No casualties or material losses were reported, so the Houthis are now targeting Israeli territory, guys. This is biblical. Everything that's going on in the Middle East is biblical. Everything that's going on in Ukraine is biblical. Okay, so make sure you're getting right with God. And Polish farmers have announced that more than 580 protests are planned for today, in which almost 70,000 farmers will take part. So, massive protest across Poland by Polish farmers, and they're protesting an increase in taxes, and they're protesting a new EU Green Deal. And the U.S. Air Force has confirmed that it has conducted its final end-to-end test launch of a live hypersonic missile, the AGM-183 air-launched rapid response weapon, earlier this week. So all you guys out there that say that America doesn't have hypersonic weapons, there you have it. Okay, the U.S. Air Force has tested the AGM-183 air-launched rapid response weapon hypersonic missile. So it's basically ready to use now. And the Chinese embassy in the Philippines said that China advises the United States not to stir up trouble or take sides on the South China Sea issue. Wow, strong words there from China. And Russia has completed the construction of a military port in the occupied territory of Georgia, Abkhazia. Okay, Abkhazia, if you remember, in 2008 was taken by the Russian military from Georgia. And so they now built this new military port on the Black Sea in Abkhazia. So this gives them another base on the Black Sea that's further away from Ukraine, because they have the base in Sevastopol, they have the base in Novorossiysk, but those two bases are close to Ukraine and they've been hit a lot with drones. So now they have this base further away in Abkhazia. And the Canadian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Melanie Joly, announced today during an interview that Canada will be halting any further arms shipments to Israel following a non-binding vote in the House of Commons, with the vote coming following claims by extremist left-wing members of the New Democratic Party, who stated Israel is not doing enough to provide protection to civilians in Gaza. And U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he worries that under Netanyahu's leadership, Israel would become such a pariah in the world and even in the United States. Chuck Schumer is just a moron. And Mexico says it won't accept migrants sent back after the U.S. Supreme Court allowed Texas to enforce immigration law. Okay, so very interesting. Looks like there could be some tensions with Mexico over this border situation. And India has announced that they plan to strengthen relations with Russia. So very concerning information there. Want to just show you guys what we have going on over the U.S. right now. This afternoon, we have two nuclear war command and control planes in the air, one over the East Coast, one over the West Coast. And last night, we had a nuclear war command and control plane in the air all night, overnight, which is pretty unusual. Normally, they don't fly in the middle of the night, so that's pretty interesting. And here we have a map showing all the farmers' protests that are planned in Poland. You can see basically across the entire country, and there's been multiple cities in Poland whose mayors have said that they will not allow these farmers to block roads. So this could cause some problems in Poland. And here we have a picture of some Polish farmers dumping manure and trash along this road. in Poland, and they're basically blocking this road. You can see the double yellow line there, and they've just dumped manure across it. Now, a lot of people, including myself, think that these farmers' protests are being organized by the Russian intelligence services. And here we have some video footage released by Sputnik, which is a Russian media outlet, showing a drone flying into a damaged M1 Abrams tank somewhere along the eastern front in Ukraine. And you can see the turret here and the damaged tracks. Okay, you can see the track here laying there. And they just fly a drone into this tank just to see what's inside of it. Okay, but this is definitely not a good sign. And US M1 Abrams damaged, okay, destroyed, basically inoperable, and looks like the Russians are going to take possession of it and probably try to reverse engineer it and learn everything about it. So that's definitely not good. I hope that our government took all proper steps to sanitize this before we sent it out to Ukraine. So this way they can't figure out all our secret technology in these tanks. And here we have some video footage of that new base on the Black Sea in Abkhazia. So it looks like a pretty big base, as you can see. And we had more reconnaissance activity over the Korean Peninsula. Here we have a U.S. Army Beechcraft flying along the border with North Korea. And then here we have a U.S. MQ-4C Triton drone patrolling the southern part of Taiwan. This is a U.S. Navy reconnaissance drone. And here we have a picture of that hypersonic missile that was tested by the Air Force earlier in the week. You can see AGM-183A. So this is very similar to Russia's Kinzhal missile. It might even be better, most likely better. I wanted to just quickly mention a friend of the channel, KLW World News inventor Lee Wilbarger. He's been having issues with his Coffee Club account, and as a result, they've held up like $2,000 worth of payments, and he's having difficulty covering his bills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave links to some sites where you can donate to him to help him out. He's having some financial difficulties right now. He's demonetized completely on YouTube. Even though he has multiple channels, YouTube has demonetized him completely. So anytime when he does those live streams that I know a lot of you guys like, he's not making any money, okay? So he's spending hours of his time for free, and he's got to pay his bills just like you guys do. And, he is on Rumble, but Rumble doesn't pay as much as YouTube. Okay, so please check out the links in the comments section down below. I'm going to pin some links where you can donate directly to him and help him out, because he's a very good source of information, especially with everything going on right now. We need him to continue his streams. So show him some love, and I'll be back later on tonight with more breaking news. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon down below so you get notified when I post these updates. And if you're having trouble finding me on YouTube for whatever reason, just add the @ symbol in front of NYPrepper and it'll pull my channel right up. So @NYPrepper, that's my channel handle on YouTube. Also, you can type in youtube.com/NYPrepper. That'll pull my channel right up. Also, you can go to my website, NewYorkPrepper.com, and I always have my latest videos posted there. So those are your 3 options to find me. And until later on, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. Guys, the world is getting crazier by the day. We're on the verge of World War III. The U.S. is drowning in trillions of dollars in debt. Inflation is at an all-time high, and there's no end in sight. So you need to prepare your finances for the future with precious metals. Precious metals are a great way to protect your hard-earned savings and retirement against inflation and the uncertainty of the stock market. Also, precious metals are good to have for the purposes of preparedness, to be able to barter with people for essential supplies if the grid goes down. Every prepper should have at least a small amount of silver coins. The company I trust for my precious metals is Midas Gold Group. Text NYPrepper to 232425 for free information on precious metals. Midas Gold Group is 100% veteran owned and supports veterans through the Wounded Warrior Project. Midas Gold Group will work with you to convert part of your retirement savings into gold or to set up a gold IRA. And unlike many precious metals dealers, Midas Gold Group offers precious metals in small denominations, which is great for preparedness, so you have something tangible to use for bartering when the grid goes down. Precious metals have continuously risen in price over the past 100 years and are considered a safe investment. So text NYPrepper to 232425 for free information and to get started today.